All right, guys. Welcome to Boots and Fins. My name is Brandon, and this is the first episode of my podcast, Today Ends and Why. So, welcome. I just love that name. I think it's great. Anyways, let's keep moving. Like I said, my name is Brandon. I am a Navy veteran, scuba instructor, scuba instructor, if you're wondering. College student currently for business. Hiking, camping, water sports, adventure enthusiast, if you want to say that. But yeah, that's me. This podcast, the future podcasts of this channel will be kind of all over the place, but the main purpose will be kind of reviewing campsites that I've gone to, different areas that I've gone to, telling stories from those campsites, reviewing some footage that maybe doesn't make it to the actual video. Um, there will be spoilers. That's kind of the point. Anyways, the spoilers will be happening kind of before the video drops, but they won't be too big of spoilers, so I think it'll be fine. Anyways, yes, I laugh at my own jokes. I think it's funny. I think everything's funny in life, so yeah. Cool, let's move on. Anyways, so like I said, we're going to be doing a review of a trip I just did this past weekend from Thursday to Sunday. I actually went to Bear Lake Campground, which is located in the Blackwater River State Forest. It's about an hour north of Pensacola, and I met some buddies up there, and we had such a great time. I am in the process of making a video from our camping trip and all the fun stuff that we did. So that should be posted around this weekend, hopefully, giving myself a deadline of Sunday. So today's Tuesday, so I got a lot of editing to do. I've already made some progress, but it'll be fun, and I'm having fun with it right now. I got a lot of good footage. So moving forward, let's get into some footage review and kind of a campground overall review of Bear Lake Campground, located in Milton, Florida, which is like close to the Florida-Alabama border. So, guys, let's get into it. The journey begins here in Orlando, Florida. That's where I live. It was about a 6-hour drive total up there, 425 miles one way. And honestly, the drive was not that bad. You just go I-75 to I-10. It's pretty straightforward. And then once you get off the highway, it's very simple besides losing service. But you can kind of expect that in any like big forest. Obviously, they're not going to have like cell phone towers and stuff. But honestly, the campground exceeded my expectations. I didn't really know. I'd only seen like a couple reviews, like saw pictures and stuff. I'd never actually even heard of this forest because I'm not really from that area. So I think just by going off of what other people said, I was like, oh, this looks like a cool spot. But I really didn't understand like how awesome it was. Moving into the review itself, when you pull into it, we're going to pull up some footage here of the campground. So as you drive into the campground, it's like a long road. You pass some hiking trails, and then on the left, you're going to see some RV spots. There's pull-throughs, full-size camping spots with full power and water hookup. On the right is a private residence, and the campground host lives there and takes care of everything while you're there. And then as you pull up over a couple speed bumps, you'll see the private restrooms, which were super clean. There's about 8 individual private restrooms, each with their own private shower, which is awesome. I didn't have any problems using the bathroom or showering, even with a full capacity. in the weekend time it was pretty full there. But then you move into the lake area with a full boat ramp access, a dock, and the lake's just huge and there's plenty of parking there if you have your boat. Now you're gonna see me walking through this giant parking lot. You'll kind of get a scope of how large that parking lot is into the tent area. And this is my drone following me, so I think it's pretty cool because I just been practicing with the drone and stuff. But anyways, as you move up to the tent camping spot on the left, you'll see a little dirt road, and there are a couple spots there. I'll show you guys the map after this for the actual spots. And then on the right, you'll see there are 2 spots. Each spot has a picnic table and fire ring with a grate for cooking, which is super nice. And then you get into this loop here on the right-hand side. It is just open trail right to the bathroom and gazebo, and then there's plenty of parking. And then on the left here, you have spot 36 and 37, which I highly recommend. I think they're the best spots. 37 tucks off into the little parking area, so there's so much extra room that you get. So if you have a large group, I recommend getting spot 37, if not both 36 and 37. We kind of spent most of our time here where you see me walking, spot 36, because that was my site, and I don't know, we just hung around there, but 37 has a great area as well. And then you see on the map how the loop is, and the actual spot numbers 36 and 37 are tucked all the way at the bottom there. And of course the lake, man, there's so much to say. Of course the lake is just absolutely gorgeous. The pictures do not do justice. This drone footage shows you guys how large the lake actually is and the forest surrounding you. Cool thing is there's a hiking trail right off of those spots, right off of 36 or 35, whatever those spots were, is the hiking trail around Bear Lake itself. It's a full loop, and the trail hugs right along the whole lake, and there's some hidden gems back there, some private docks, and some great areas there that you can see kayaking and or hiking. And then here you see just how massive this forest is. I want to say it's like one of the largest in the state or in the country. I don't know exactly, but I read something about it being like 210,000 acres or something crazy like that. So here gives you kind of a perspective of what the lake looks like from above, and it's just really cool shot. The drone is just amazing, and as I learn to fly it better, you guys will get even better content. But you know, it's a journey, it's a process learning all this stuff. I've only flown it a handful of times, so I think that I'm doing pretty well for a newbie, right? And I have very little experience in flying drones and even just videography in itself. You guys didn't know, but I had a previous YouTube channel called H2O Film Crew, which was me and a partner of mine, where I practiced podcasting, which is why I'm a pro now. Not really, haha. But I'm getting better, I think. I think that the more you do it, the more comfortable you get, and every time I make a video for you guys, it's just going to be better content. And you know, you guys leave a comment if you guys want to see certain stuff from me. I think I'm pretty funny, so I think I can pretty and well-rounded, so I can do a lot of different things with this podcast. But for me, just talking about trips and reviewing footage is fun for me, and kind of gives you guys a little head start into seeing what these videos are going to be like after each trip that I do, which I have a fair amount planned for the future, which is pretty awesome. The trip itself was it was great. I got to see some great buddies that I haven't seen since I was in the Navy. I mean, it was just great catching up with them, and then just super relaxing, you know, just sitting there in the hammocks and everything. Also, I didn't hit those spots are amazing for hammocks. We literally, between spots 36 and 37, we had 4 hammocks set up, and I think there was like more trees we could have set up hammocks. So if you have a large group and you want to do some hammock camping, I mean, the weather is beautiful up there. when we went, which was early May. It was this past weekend. But even in the summertime, if it's a little hotter outside, and you don't want to like be in your tent, you want to just hammock outside, I think it is perfect. I took a nap in the hammock, and it was just amazing, 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 amazing. So if you're hammock camping, those tent sites are really good as well, 36 and 37. The only thing that I ask, you filthy animals, if you take my advice, and you book spot 36 and 37, hit me up and send me an invite, all right? Because I love camping, I love meeting new people, and I think we'd have a blast. So shoot me the invite because I gave you the idea in the review, all right? Just saying. If you don't do that, we're not friends, and whatever. It doesn't matter. But if you really want to, I'll drop everything and go meet you there. Like, I'm just that kind of person. I think you guys will see with my adventures and stuff. Like, I don't really have anything holding me down right now. I'm single. I'm just in school, but everything's like online, and I'll probably keep doing online just because it makes me super flexible, and I've kind of gotten used to it because of COVID. So I think I'm just going to push forward with that, and that allows me to travel the most and continue to do what I love to do, which is be outside in nature. And my creative outlet is making these videos, and I think they're a lot of fun, and I hope you guys enjoy them. Yeah, so that's my little spiel about that. But next up, we are going to go into some stories from the trip. I think there are many, many stories of me injuring myself or just being dumb. I'm super clumsy, but, I didn't die, so that's pretty good. I didn't die. I did harm myself in a few different ways, which we'll get into right now. Let's do it. All right, guys, some of the best stories happened on this trip here, and most of them involved me injuring myself, like I said. So we're going to get into kind of what happened. Leading up to the trip, about 2 weeks before this trip happened, I developed a nasty sty in my left eye, okay? And it's still healing today, but it was so gross and just like falling down on the left side here, just drooping down. It was so uncomfortable. It had like a nice fat white head, and it burst open. And I've been cleaning it and nursing it the whole time, and I'm like praying like, all right, this sty will go away hopefully before the trip. I don't have to worry about anything, right? So we get to the campsite. I think it was like day or 2 or 3. And it really hasn't been bothering me like at all. I cleaned it, had like a little like crustiness on it, but that was about it. I kept it pretty clean, brought all the wipes and stuff for it. But we're just chilling in our campsite, and oh my God, a bug or a fly or something literally flies up to my eye, and I feel my eyelid close over top of this bug in the top part where my sty is, and I just like freak out because I already know that it's like infected up there or whatever, and I'm just trying to clean it out, and I'm like, there's a bug in my eye, oh my God. And my friends are like you like try to wash it, rinse it out or whatever. I go to the water jug and like wash my eye and stuff, and then like go like try to get it out. It felt better because I cleaned it and I didn't know if I got it out. And our friend Allie is like, oh my God, she's like, lay down on the bench right now, and the most like aggressive like, lay down right now, lay down on the bench, lay down. I'm gonna look at your eye, and I'm like, in the moment, I'm just like, oh, okay. And the way she said it, you had to be there. Like, I wish it was on video, honestly, because it was just hilarious. I lay down on the picnic table bench, right? And everyone's like hovering over me, and she like opens my up, and she's like, oh, it's there. It's still there. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, oh my God, there's still this bug in my eye. And she just like scoops it out. Like, just scoops out this bug out of my eye. Next thing I know, there's like freaking a gallon of saline solution or contact solution, whatever you call it, pouring in my eye, and it's like kind of stinging a little bit, whatever. But the bug was gone, and she totally took care of it. But I was just like freaking out, and like in the moment, it was just hilarious. And if you guys know me, which most of you guys probably don't, but if you know me, I am the biggest baby. I have like a huge phobia of eyes. And so for like someone else to be like touching my eye area is like a huge thing. And like I put eye drops in and it's like it just spills all over me. You know, I'm just the worst, which is why I don't wear contacts. But man, it was like it was pretty easy for me, but like the way it happened was just so funny. Like, lay down on the bench, and then I just laid down, and then next thing I know, someone's fingers in my eye, and you know, there's a bunch of foreign solution being poured into my eyeball, and I just let it happen. But yeah, good friends, good friends. Make sure you have friends that'll take care of you when you're camping, especially if you're accident prone like me, because that is not the only thing that happened. I think it was the second day I was flying my drone, and nonchalantly I'm like, oh, I'm gonna, catch my drone to land it because the battery's running low, and I've done it many times, right? And no issue. You just don't stick your fingers in the propellers. I mean, it's pretty common sense, but the way I did it, I'm like, yeah, I made this comment like with my right hand here. I'm like, yeah, just make sure you don't chop your fingers off, like, ha ha ha, like whatever. And I literally stick this finger right here in the blade. Just, I hear it, I feel it chop, and I'm like, oh shit, I just chopped my finger off. I mean, I felt it, but it didn't like hurt at first. I didn't even know like what it did. I was like, oh man. And then I like catch the drone and set it down. And then next thing I know, I'm looking at my hand and it's just like covered in blood. I'll show you guys the video clip here of it just like dripping, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, this is just my luck to freaking slice my finger off on the drone as I'm saying, make sure you don't cut your finger off, guys, to my buddies. And of course that happens to me. So the rest of the trip, I kept reopening it because we were kayaking and doing a bunch of stuff, just using your hands at camping. And so it was just unpleasant. I think I went through like, I don't know, like 10 to 15 like gauze and Tegaderm packets and like Band-Aids, and just like my entire first aid kit was just like obliterated because of my hand. So when you guys go camping, make sure you bring a first aid kit and have plenty of wrapping stuff, because you never know when you're gonna, break something or cut yourself, especially when you're hanging around me. But that was yeah. So the eye and the finger were hilarious. Almost clotheslined myself a few times. We ran some line for Delta, the pup, to run around on because he's still a puppy and doesn't listen sometimes. But it was like one ran like right by my tent, so we had to put like glow sticks on it to avoid cutting our well, me running into it, because that that happens to me. But yeah, so I had all that happen to me, and then to top it off, right at the end of the trip, I got a lot of drone footage like the entire time I was there and stuff, and I'm flying to get the sunrise pic, and the like groundskeeper or whatever, he's like fishing or something, and I'm like, that's kind of weird. But anyways, he comes up to me like as I'm finishing my shots, and he's like, you can't fly drones on Blackwater River State Forest, the whole place. And I'm like, I did some research, like, I follow FAA guidelines, like I'm a licensed pilot. I have the GPS here, and it says that I'm clear. I'm not at any landing paths of any airports. Maybe that's just like your guys' policy, but I was just like super polite or whatever, but I missed the best shot, man. I was like, you'll see in the video, but when I was going over the water and coming up, I had to cut it short. And I was so mad because I really wanted to get that shot, and he like interrupted me midway. And I was like, just like 10 more seconds and I would have had the most perfect shot here on this like perfect weather, the perfect like scene, the sunrise happening, and I'm like, man, I should have just bent the rules a little bit, but I was like, yes, sir, I'll just, pack it up, whatever, because I don't want no problems. Plus, I really want to go back to this place, so I just know now that I have to be a little more inconspicuous when I fly because they have a um, little policy there, I guess, or even in the state park itself. But when you're flying drones, make sure you do your research and for real, just make sure you're not flying in restricted areas because you are liable for, you know, those, flying there and stuff like that. And it's heavily regulated. But these drones are so smart now that they literally have GPS built in, and it tells you all the restricted zones, all the FAA, you know, landing zones, if airplanes are flying in and stuff. So and I don't try to. If I know I'm by an airport, like I'm not flying anywhere near where a landing zone would be, or even the height of which an airplane would be. So there's no chance whatsoever that I would be flying into someone's aircraft or anything like that, because that would be horrendous, not only for my drone but for them. So just make sure you guys are being careful when you're flying drones and stuff. But you got to follow the rules, and I'm not above the rules, but I got some cool shots, so I'm just glad I got that, and I'll count my blessings. But yeah, so really that was like the only really like good stories. I mean, we just had a really good time catching up, reminiscing, and spots 36 and 37 are great. Just make sure that you invite me if you're gonna go camping, because camping with strangers is fun, and I've done it before, and I think I'm a good time. Those people that are like, I'm a fun time, right? I'm fun, guys, right? I'm fun. That's me. But I actually think I'm fun, so deal with it. Anyways, it was nice talking to you guys. I think that we hit a lot of fun stuff, and I really would like to know if you guys want to see more of this. So if you do, make sure you subscribe, like, comment with your friends, and let me know any content that you want me to make in the future. I'm going to be trying to post a podcast weekly, at least one episode, and they won't all be trips happening or like reviews and stuff, but I do have some trips happening, so I'm going to try to stay on schedule and keep uploading videos for you guys, and then expect the Bear Lake Campground full video to be uploaded by Sunday or before, if I get cooking on it after this video. So I think that's it, guys. So take care, and I'll see you next week.